Hello, hello. This is my Ultimate Ironman, and I'm going to be going for the Master Quest Cape. This is one of the most prestigious capes in the game, requiring very high skill levels, endgame bossing, and thousands of hours of grinding. Of course, it also just looks really good. So while I set up my UI in the background, let me explain the ground rules for those that don't know what a Ultimate Ironman is. Ultimate Ironman mode is a game mode that comes from old school Runescape. It's essentially Ironman, but without a bank. Now there's a couple issues with that when it comes to RuneScape 3, but we can get to that later. For now, I'll just go over the general rules. A more detailed description can be found in the channel's About section. I would really like your feedback on it as well, so if you have any questions or concerns about it, please comment down below. No banking. Dedicated purpose storage is okay. Use of Elite Dungeon Sophnum Slayer chests is okay. Lodestone network is off limits after I hit level 40 magic. No Viswax. No leeching in group PVM. No D&Ds unless they are tied to a skill, quest, or achievement. No daily challenges. Nothing is allowed from the MTX, Solomon's, or Loyalty Point store except for cosmetics. And only in-game buyable auras are allowed. So going into this challenge, there were immediately some questions raised about how I'm going to tackle some of the big level requirements for Master Quest Cape, notably like the 117 to 119 Dungeoneering and the 120 Archaeology. How am I going to do Dungeoneering when I either have to destroy everything in my inventory and what I'm wearing, or somehow store it somewhere? And then for 120 Archaeology, doing that without a bank is that even, I mean, it's feasible, sure, but is it normal? Probably not. It's probably quite a dumb idea. Gonna do it anyways, but it's gonna be it's definitely gonna be interesting. So the reason there's a daily reroll token in my inventory right now is because as I was playing the early game, I was also writing the rules at the same time. And at first I was thinking of allowing dailies, but I decided against it in the end. So one of the starting goals I set myself when I created this account is to rush 90 Thieving, because it is the fastest way to get ports started. And ports is one of the big time constraint achievements needed for Master Quest Cape. The second one being Effigy Incubator, which literally takes 12 months, just due to the restrictions I set myself of not being allowed daily challenges. Getting 90 Thieving also helps with the construction grind, as I'll be getting quite a lot of GP with safecracking. And construction actually needs to be leveled up quite early on in the account due to my restriction of not allowing lodestones after level 40 magic, as well as the servant being the only NPC that can unnote items for me. So at this point I was focusing on both quests and also early achievements and tasks so that I could get a head start on the Taskmaster achievement. So just for a bit of fun for myself, I decided to also do the quests in a certain order. So I was going to do all of the 5th age quests that were available to me and then move on to the 6th age quests. I wanted to start unlocking Menaphos as quickly as possible because of my Wicked Hood restriction. I'm not allowed to use the Wicked Hood until I fill it with every single talisman, and the only way I'm going to get a soul talisman early on is through shifting tombs. On that note, I actually broke the Wicked Hood rule right away because it wasn't a rule when I was doing Imp Catcher. My bad. And actually a quick tip for anybody that's starting out and needs a red berry pie. Beefy Bill here actually sells all of the individual ingredients managed not to burn either of my pies, which was quite lucky. And then I got 10 smithing for the iron bars needed for Knight Sword. Knight Sword completed, and the easy 30 smithing from the XP lamp. And then what I'm gonna try and do while I quest to keep everything relatively efficient is do all of the achievements locked behind said quest at the time. Buyers and sellers completed means we can finally start on the thieving grind. Work on getting ports unlocked and get the time gated stuff started. And 20 thieving completed, time to do tribal totem. Tribal totem completed. That also gives us 24 thieving, which is needed for the next caper. From tiny acorns completed. That also gives us 25 thieving and further access to the Thieves Guild. If you're still watching at this part of the video, I wanted to say a huge thank you and give you an easy tip on fast farming levels early on into a account. So all you have to do is go to Wyson the Gardener in Falador Park, buy woad leaves, get 17 farming by scooping the manure at the play-owned farm in Ardy, and then there's a couple beehives just next to the farm that you can put the woad leaves into, and then every 24 hours come back and get a huge XP drop. So while I was waiting on the woad leaves, I decided to go to both of the strongholds, get my 10k and 9 herblore from the first one, and then get party boots and another 10k from the second one. Next I went to Het's Oasis to get 22 hunter catching scarabs. It's a pretty chill way to train hunter. I need 22 to barehanded catch a young impling for a lockpick. So to get to Puro we need to find a crop circle. And if you don't have Fairy Tale unlocked, the easiest way to do that is just to stand here next to the RD lodestone and hop worlds. And you want to open the impling jars relatively quickly, because if you don't have a high thieving level, it's very likely that the other implings will free the implings that you've caught. The lockpick is needed so that I can open all of the doors in the Thieves Guild, and that's 30 thieving. Time to do the feud quest. But first I got base 20 combats quite quickly at the trolls north of Burthorpe. It's a good place to train early levels. And that's the feud completed for 37 thieving. Nearly done with all of the thieving capers, we can almost get to safe cracking. And there's 57 thieving. May not seem very long for you, but was a couple hours for me, so I'm gonna go back to doing some quests. And that's Druidic Ritual completed. Wolf Whistle completed. So this is actually kind of an issue. So I wanted to go and do recruitment drive, but the way death mechanics work in RuneScape 3 is that he will always save your 3 best items. Everything else you pay to keep, and then there's also items that will be automatically saved on death. This means that I can never actually have death hold my best items. It will always be death holding my mediocre items. But let's try it out. Like, I'm just gonna go and kill myself to these Zami mages, and then we'll see what we can do about the rest of the items that are left on me. Alright, so I'm not left with anything too important or anything that I care too much about, so I think I'm just gonna drop the rest, go do recruitment drive. I've got 23 hours to get my stuff back, and that should be more than enough time. So I dropped everything else right outside Certifi and hoping that I was going to be fast enough to get through the rooms, but yeah, I guess not. So I went back to death to get all of my items back, but I was thinking I can't actually afford 8k. Well, I mean, maybe I can, but I want to train Herblore after this, and I've got some noted Herblore items from Druidic Ritual, and I have an idea on how to use them. So I sold the noted items to the store, bought them back unnoted, and that's how I'm going to train Herblore. I'm going to ultimately need 46 Herblore for the last thieving caper, but I think we can get there. I'm also quite certain that if I sell the attack potions back to the shop, I think they sell for around 150, it's actually a profit. Managed to get 15 Herblore from that, and I decided to go do Jungle Potion, just for some more Herblore XP. That's 16 Herblore from cleaning the Rogue's Purse. That's Jungle Potion completed, and 17 Herblore from the lamp. Just working on some more quests that give herblore XP, and that's Dixie completed and 21 herblore. And that's 23 herblore from Kudos. And that's going to be the end of this episode. I really enjoyed making this progress video, and I hope you like it as well. I'll see you in the next one.